We are watching the world go absolutely nuts.
He saved your life, but you didn't even get a word of thanks from him.
Bro, so they told us cats was just pets, right? Cats ain't just pets, man. They guardians. Cats.
Have you ever just looked at your own reflection in a mirror for a long period of time? I mean a long period of time.
So the whole movie is actually an allegory for Christianity. And Jesus is actually in the movie. Remember?
Here's Philip and his new cat, Lulu.
Hey, happy Friday and happy New Year's. Been a couple of weeks, my apologies, but between the holidays and many technical difficulties, it created the perfect storm over here. However, we are back on track for every Freaky Friday here on in. And yes, that's that time where I'm handed over a bunch of videos. I don't know what I'm about to watch. I watch them for the first time right along with you guys. They could be freaky, scary, crazy. I'm not sure what I'm in for. For more videos like these, hit the subscribe button, give the video a like, and leave a comment. I always enjoy reading your comments, and don't forget to ring that bell to be notified of future video uploads. Also, if you have a suggestion or a video you would like me to react to, please send it our way. With that being said, let's get to the videos.
This leaked video of an extraterrestrial alien that was held in captivity. They called him Skinny Bob. Yeah, he was called Skinny Bob.
Hey, Bob.
When his ship crashed on Earth, Skinny Bob survived. And it's reported that he was held in captivity for nearly a decade. And there are a lot of reports that Skinny Bob helped the U.S. with technology. Yeah, he did. My question is, what do you think of this story? Because there's a lot of information out there that confirms the Skinny Bob story. Let me know your opinion in the comment section, Vooshkies. Shabadoo.
Shabadoo. Wow. If that is true, I feel really bad for him. He was held in captivity for 10 years. And this is why aliens probably don't want to visit here, because they know we will do things like this to them. Either that, or if they do come, they're just going to overtake us because we can't be trusted. I don't know.
Hey, y'all better be careful when y'all get inside them Waymo cars. Not even because them Jones can malfunction and ultimately crash, and not because them Jones is a self-driving car. You can have people hiding in the back of the little trunk spot, y'all. This lady said she ordered a Waymo car for her daughter, and when her daughter opened it, it was a man behind the seats. Look at this shit, y'all.
Why the fuck are you in the trunk?
That's why, ma'am, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I'm over here. Yeah, they should want to let me out. They should
Why are you in it?
Huh? They just put
Can't figure it out.
Who put you in?
The
what?
The people. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. Just look.
No, I don't believe it.
He said they put him in the trunk. Who the hell was they? The car put you in the trunk, fool? My whole thing is, how the hell didn't it detect that someone was still in the car? Let's just say, for instance, that girl got in a car, and this man was like a kidnapper or some or he was a Jason, Michael Myers type of. That shit could have went bad, fool. So you already had the Jones getting into car accidents, driving through drive-thrus. Now you got people in the back seat and the Jones can't detect them. I need y'all to let me know down below in the comments. Have you drove in one of these? Or will you be driving in one of these?
The answer is no. No, thank you. I think I've made my view on that one well known. I don't trust that. I don't even really like taking cabs if I don't have to. Like, that's the last resort for me. Yeah, that's scary. And that guy going, I don't know how I got back there. Yeah, okay, dude, I believe you. He was up to no good. And I'm really glad that it got checked before just going in and that car started driving. Yikes.
Three friends were exploring the haunted theater, which had been abandoned for years. Locals told stories about unexplained noises and things moving by themselves, claiming the building was haunted. But it was scheduled to be torn down the next day, meaning this was their only chance to explore it. One of them joked about holding a seance. The others laughed until they reached the stage. A bowl of salt, a bird's skull, a blade, and an open book with a drawing of an old woman's twisted face. Then a faint sound came from the rafters. It almost sounded like a woman screaming in fear. Two of the friends laughed and stepped closer, but the third shook his head, saying it felt wrong. They kept urging him, promising that it was just for fun. Finally, he sighed and climbed onto the stage. They stood around the circle and joined hands. The air grew still, but they heard a soft scraping sound. It was the blade. It started to tremble. It scraped across the floor, slowly turning toward them. Then the massive curtain dropped with a heavy crash before the whole stage collapsed. The next morning, the demo crew searched the ruins. No sign of anyone inside, just a crushed skull, a sharp knife, and a book with a drawing. It was 3 terrified teens, sketched on the page. When the wrecking ball hit, the workers swore they heard screams coming from inside the walls.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I was getting interested in it until that. Yeah, I have a hard time believing that one. I guess they're stuck in the paper. Or, I guess in the walls. They said they heard it coming from the walls. I don't know. Either way, nah.
Bro, so they told us cats was just pets, right? Cats ain't just pets, man. They guardians. Cats got abilities that humans don't even understand. And the world hide it from us on purpose. Ancient civilizations like Egypt, they worship cats for a reason. They believe that cats can see energies and spirits, things that we can't see. Cats' eyes is like portals. See things in different realms, and while you sleep, they protecting your home. Your cat stare at the corner for no reason in the room. It's not random. They tracking spiritual movement. They purring. It's not just random. They vibrating healing frequencies. It can calm anxiety, lower blood pressure, and it can repair tissues in your body. Listen, bro, cats don't just live with you. Cats absorb your energy. You ever felt calmer, lighter when you holding your cat? That's because they pulled that negative energy up out you, and then they transmuted it. Why you think cats suddenly disappear out of nowhere? They lost too much energy, so they need to recharge. Next time you see a cat just, sitting there and just staring, remember, they not just watching the world, bro. They guarding yours.
I can kind of believe that. I've had my own experiences with cats. I've been a cat person my whole life. I love dogs too. I have a dog. But I had a horrible accident, not going to get into details, but I had a very hard time recovering. It took minimum a year to recover from. And my cat could pick up, exactly that I was having issues even with sleeping. And he knew to stay away where I was injured, but he came up by my face and up against my cheek and my ear and just started purring, full on purring. And he actually was the only reason why I could sleep. It actually calmed my body and soothed me into a sleep state. So, I mean, do I believe that cats have abilities? I really think they do. And, I mean, we should be treating them a whole lot better. We should be treating animals a whole lot better. But, yeah, definitely. I can believe that one.
We are watching the world go absolutely nuts. A man from Toronto that was caught speeding on the highway had a suspended license since 1985. A man in Connecticut just won the lottery for a second time this year. He won $100,000 the first time and then just recently won $1 million. Researchers are now saying that ChatGPT can also get brain rot from scrolling junk content online, just like humans. Indonesian names are now legally limited to only 60 characters in length. Parents of teenagers all over the country right now are saying that getting a landline is revolutionary for delaying the smartphone. That way they can just talk to their friends in the kitchen. People are using AI to talk to God. There is a couple who was married less than a year ago and are now asking for a divorce from the court because their dog and cat cannot get along. A woman in London was stopped by 3 enforcement officers after pouring coffee down a drain next to a bus stop, and she was fined £150.
For pouring coffee? What kind of law is that? Jeez.
What if I told you, Canada, that the milk in your fridge may not come from a cow ever again? And no, this isn't sci-fi. This is actually happening in Canada right now. So Health Canada just quietly approved milk that doesn't come from a farm. It comes from a lab. And nobody's talking about what this really means. So let's go back last month. In November 2025, Canada gave a company called Remilk the green light to sell animal-free dairy protein. But this isn't almond milk or oat milk. What they do is they take the DNA that tells a cow how to make milk, copy it, and insert it into microbes like yeast. And then from there, they can make milk, cheese, yogurt, basically everything. But here's the part that no one wants to say out loud. If this takes off, it could wipe out real dairy farms across BC and Canada. Oh, and one more thing. This lab milk looks real, tastes real, and has the same amount of protein as normal dairy. So most people won't even know when they're drinking it because Health Canada already said it's safe. So Canada has a choice. Do we save this dairy industry that we have and is thriving, or replace cows with computers and call it progress? Canada, let me know in the comments below, is this something you even care about? Or if we get rid of the dairy industry, you just could care less. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comments below.
No. No. This is going too far. They're trying to totally eliminate cows. And I know people are going to be saying in comments and things, their farts and all that kind of stuff, whatever. No, I don't agree with all this tempering of our food supplies and all that. It's not good. That's going to end up having a lot of issues with our health. Plus, we're putting people out of jobs. And there's a lot of people in this world who would benefit from this and get even more rich. I think you know where I'm going with that. Enough said.
A spoonful of ashes is taken from the body and sent to the lab. It's sifted to remove any big chunks, then cooked at over 2,800 degrees, turning the ash into carbon. Finally, the powder is spun at high speeds to separate the larger particles. And this is done 3 times until only the smallest particles remain. This fine powder is mixed into a pot of tattoo ink, and the tattoo artist uses this to line, shade, and color as normal, leaving you with a permanent design that contains a literal piece of someone you loved.
So I'm taking that is a very precise tattoo for people who have deceased. That's not normal ink, obviously. What do you guys think of that? I mean, would you do it? Would you, I guess, I'd be considered immortalizing your past loved one by ink art on your skin? Let me know. I love reading comments and what your views are on things, and that's what I'm interested in. How many people would do that?
Okay guys, last night, finally, some actual big revelations came from the latest dump of Epstein files. So here are the 4 main things that you need to know about, and get locked in, because this one's kind of wild. First key takeaway, holy shit, we actually got emails between FBI personnel mentioning 10 possible co-conspirators of Epstein. And that's actually a huge development, because up until now, the official narrative from the Department of Justice has always been there's no one else. There's Epstein, there's Maxwell. In fact, earlier just this year, Kash Patel testified under oath that there was no credible information that Epstein trafficked young women to anyone else other than himself. In fact, it got to the point where the majority of these 10 co-conspirators were served with subpoenas by the FBI. Frustratingly, though, a lot of these names were actually redacted, which also raises a lot of questions because we were told that all of these redactions were supposed to protect victims, not the alleged co-conspirators. Now, why the FBI stopped pursuing these people like they were doing in 2019 is unknown. Second key takeaway is that Trump is actually mentioned a lot in these files that dropped last night, unlike the first batch. Now, to be clear, there are a number of documents from these files which mention Trump that are either tips or just unproven allegations, but also pieces that are verifiably false, and we'll get into that in a second. But one of the most credible things so far is that in a 2020 email, a federal prosecutor spoke about receiving new flight records showing that Trump had traveled on Epstein's jet many more times than even they were previously aware of. Again, still no smoking gun, but jeez, it's starting to get dicey now. Third is that there was a wild email in these files from someone who described themselves only as Invisible Man and just the letter A. And they were asking Ghislaine Maxwell if she had found any new inappropriate friends for them yet. And we know that this person has got to be pretty important because they were at a summer camp at the time of sending this email for the royal family. Yeah. And then the fourth and last key takeaway is the pretty strange behavior of how the Department of Justice is actually releasing these files. Firstly, they broke the law by releasing these in multiple batches and not just all at once. Secondly, they heavily redacted a lot of questionable information. They've poorly redacted a lot of these pages, and people are literally getting around the redactions now by simply copying and then pasting the text into their notes and seeing what's underneath those bars. And then, most bizarrely, especially from last night, they're including files that are verifiably fake. For example, there was this letter that was purportedly sent by Epstein to Larry Nassar, and there's a whole thing going into there, as well as a fake video showing Epstein in his prison cell. Both of them, they say, are fake. And so that really starts to raise questions about why or how these were allowed to be included if even they are saying that they are fake. What do you guys think? Are we getting closer, or is it just, again, more fluff?
I can't believe them in anything anymore. Oh, jeez.
Are these videos glitches in the Matrix or something else, Pooshkis? You decide.
What was that last one about? I don't want to rewind at all, but I mean, what was that? A gas tank? I'm not too sure what that one was about. The one with the bird, it's still moving and you can tell it's windy. I've actually seen birds struggle to go against a really harsh wind. Though the grass didn't look like it was that windy. Like, that's a hard one. I'm not sure about that one. The one with the ground, I forget what that is. It's creepy to look at, but I think that's an actual natural phenomena, and I forget what it is. But the first one, that's the one that freaks me out, the sky. Like, I don't know any natural explanation for that. That's wild. That does make you wonder, is it a simulation? Did the rendering break down? What was that about?
No. What's wrong?
That bear does not want to share a Coke, I can tell you that much.
Oh, he's taking him away?
Holy
You went out on the snow scooter?
Yeah. Yeah, very brave guy.
Oh. Yeah, that happened. That's scary. No, why?
Good morning, everyone. Here's Philip and his new cat, Lulu. They've been hanging out on the sofa for a couple of days. And Philip seems very happy. So does Lulu.
He seems happy. You can tell this.
Get a close up.
Cat's just
look
as
at the
scary.
cuteness.
No, not
This
cute.
is going to be a bond that lasts forever.
It's gonna be a nightmare to last forever. Why do I have to keep on seeing this? I'm really worried about this lady. She's got to be doing this for the views. No, I'm speechless. I'm done.
So it's this theory that I read that said when you avoid a deadly situation like a near car crash or something falling that almost hits you, you really didn't avoid it at all. According to the theory, you died, but your mind just can't process its own death. So instead, it instantly switched you into the closest parallel timeline where you survived. And in fact, that's why the time feels so unreal. Like, that's why the time slows down or you get that little ringing in your ear. People who believe this say that deja vu is just the loading glitch from jumping timelines. And that I've been here before feeling is basically your brain catching up to the new reality that you just shifted into. And the wild part is that some people think that every time your life feels like a little bit off, like somebody's behavior changes, small details feel wrong, or you just can't remember how you got from point A to point B. That's the leftover static from a timeline jump. So according to this theory, you might not be the original you no more. You might just be the version that survived. Have you ever had something happen that made you wonder if you woke up in the wrong reality?
Okay, I've heard this theory before. It's interesting, maybe plausible, but the thing being is the basis of it. So if you come close to dying, you've had a near miss, whatever, you're in a new timeline. But how does that cover people just dying? You know, like people just die at any age, whether they're young or old. I'm sure people have had near-death experiences just from health. Well, obviously they have. So, I mean, when does the time jumping stop? I mean, according to that, it sounds like it just happens forever and ever and ever. That's the problem I have with that theory. Anybody else like really good at this stuff, like know these theories inside out that can help with my confusion on this? If you have any information, let me know. Be interesting.
Devil's Lake in Wisconsin. This lake has everything. Dead giants, leviathan, serpents. It's in the mountains. It's a glacial runoff. And they speculate it could be 10,000 years old. The native people in that region, the Ho-Chunk people, talk about around this lake there was these red-headed giants that would terrorize the Ho-Chunk people. And so the Ho-Chunk people basically prayed to their god or gods or whatever to help get rid of these giants. One day there was this big storm that came over and said fire rained down from the sky, killed all the giants. Ho-Chunk people said that for years the lake was red with the giants' blood.
Holy moly.
That's not where it ends. This lake was inhabited by a giant wise serpent. It would also just consume and take people that would go by the lake. They tell the story of a thunderbird, giant sky being. So not necessarily a bird.
So that was just the nickname.
Yeah, this thunderbird went to battle with the serpent that occupied the lake. Said like this storm was just over the lake and it was just lightning. Ultimately, the thunderbird killed the serpent, and that's not where it ends.
Oh no!
Because even
Of course
today,
not.
people report for the past 100 years they're seeing a giant serpent-like creature in this lake still. More weird is that the military has done multiple exercises in this lake.
Really?
Yeah, so they have restricted underwater zones. There's been reports of unmarked black vehicles after these sightings, and there's occasionally those like stealth helicopters that fly around this lake.
If they're getting involved, there's something there.
Something there.
That's gotta be.
I agree. You see government somewhere, you know something's up. Oh, wow. I find it funny that pretty much all over the world, there's people who talk about a large water creature in their waters. I mean, okay, so I think you guys are catching on. I'm a bit of a conspiracy nut. And I'm just wondering, is that a dinosaur that survived? And you don't see it very often. It can go anywhere, right? If it's that big, it probably can go places fast and, stay hidden, only come up for a little bit. I mean, we have crocs and alligators. They're, technically dinosaurs. Why not some dinosaur breed that's, way bigger? Just saying.
They set up the camera to keep an eye on their toddler, but he woke up at 2 a.m., screaming and pointing at the camera. At first, his mother thought she was dreaming, but she heard a man's voice softly shushing him through the speaker. Then her husband heard it too.
No.
She ran into the toddler's room and froze. She saw the light on the baby monitor was flashing, meaning someone was watching them. You see, the monitor was connected through Wi-Fi, and someone had hacked in just to talk to their son through the camera.
Ew. I guess that's the issues you can have when you have things like that, right? I've heard of that before. And I've heard neighbors, when I babysat and stuff years ago, and there was baby monitors, and I would hear neighbors. I don't know who they were, where it was coming from, but somehow their radio waves, I guess it is, hits that baby monitor, and I would hear couples talking or arguing, and I'm just like, whoa. I mean, that's the problem with today, right?
He saved your life, but you didn't even get a word of thanks from him. Now you're suing him? What's wrong with you?
A man who saved a woman from being hit by a car is now facing sexual harassment allegations. 32-year-old Daniel Reed noticed a woman, Jessica Moore, walking straight onto the road while looking down at her phone. A car was heading straight for her, seconds away from impact. Daniel reacted instantly, grabbing her and pulling her back just as the vehicle zoomed past. Surveillance footage confirmed that his actions prevented a serious accident. But here is the twist. Jessica filed a formal complaint alleging that Daniel's actions were inappropriate and violated her personal space. Her legal team argues that even in emergency situations, you do not have the right to touch another person without consent. Daniel is in shock. He thought he was saving a life and maintains he had no ulterior motives. The video clearly shows him releasing her immediately after pulling her to safety. The case has sparked a nationwide debate. Millions believe Daniel deserves praise, not punishment. Daniel insists his sole intention was to save a life. Do you think he did the right thing?
I mean, technically he did the right thing, but holy crap, these days, let her get hit by the car. Let her get hit by the car. Seriously. Who does that? This world's going insane. And, what court would he even accept that? That's going to get laughed out, right? That better get laughed out of court. Who's that? Oh, my word. She should be ashamed of herself. What is wrong with her head? Wow.
What's that? Oh, a guy in Idaho got scratched by a skunk and then about 5 days later was found in his home, brain dead? Tell me more! Yeah, so apparently this guy goes up to the skunk, gets scratched by it, he leaves, he thinks everything's okay, goes on with his life, but then 5 days later, he's found in his home, brain dead, from the scratches of a skunk. Oh, goody. But it doesn't stop there. What happens is he was a donor, so his organs get transplanted to other people throughout the world. One person in particular in Michigan got a kidney from him. Things started off fine from the guy's kidney transplant, but then a little while down the road, he starts to feel ill and gets sick. He started having tremors and just headaches, and certain things started going on with his body. Shortly after, he then dies as well. They finally found out that this was from rabies that the skunk had, and then when people got these organs, the rabies were still inside and infected in the organs. Oh, fun! Luckily, they were able to find the other people that got the organ transplants. They were able to help them out, and they did not perish, luckily. Oh, boy.
I mean, isn't it common knowledge if you get bit or scratched by a wildlife, you should get a rabies shot? I mean, I think only one person in history has ever survived rabies. And, I mean, why did they give out those organs? Why wasn't... That's scary. That sounds more like greed for those transplants. I don't understand how that wasn't figured out before donating. Scary. That's some scary stuff.
This optical illusion is crazy. Have a look at this image. Just keep focus on the cross in the centre of the circle. As you continue to stare at the cross, you should start to see a green dot appear and move around the circle. Keep concentrating on the cross, because slowly but surely those purple dots will begin to vanish. They might disappear one at a time, or they might disappear entirely. The weird thing is, when you look away from the cross and back to the purple dots, they reappear. As you focus back on the cross, you begin to see the green dot again and the purple dots begin to vanish. It's a crazy optical illusion, because when you watch this entire video again and just look at the dots, you'll see that there is no green dot, and the purple dots do not vanish at all. If this one worked for you, I want you to hit like and let me know what you saw in the comments below. Share this one with a friend so they can try it as well, and hit follow for more weird illusions just like this one.
Is there something wrong with me? It didn't work for me. I still saw all the dots and the green one going over them. Okay, so there might be something wrong, or I don't know, maybe there's something right. Yikes, I'm a little worried about that.
Mirrors are kind of a strange thing. Hear me out on this. Have you ever just looked at your own reflection in a mirror for a long period of time? I mean a long period of time. Like at least 5 to 10 minutes just staring at it? Because if you have, sometimes what looks back at you isn't you anymore. Yeah, that reflection moves in a way that you're not moving. People have experienced this, and I've heard about it for years. But to tell you the truth, I ain't never doing it. I'm not just going to stare at my reflection in a mirror. It's bad enough I'm doing it in a phone right now. And wait for that reflection to do something that I'm not doing. Like maybe give me a wink or something else even weirder than that. Mirrors could be a window to another dimension or another reality altogether, where we're not really seeing our own reflection, we're just seeing the other us, if you know what I mean. So, if you ever feel like doing it, if you want to chance it, just stare into the mirror at yourself for a while, like I said, 5-10 minutes, and see if that reflection changes while you're looking at it. Okay, I just felt like sharing this with you, Booshkies. Shabadoo!
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't done that, but I've heard about that. And no, there is something with mirrors. You know that thing, I think it was our first video on here when you covered the mirror and you can still see our reflection. Yeah, that freaked me out because I was pretty sure that was fake and edited, and it's not. That makes no sense to me. I know they try to explain that is blah 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 blah, but still, that doesn't it doesn't sit well with me. Plus, they also say if you have a mirror reflecting another mirror, that it causes portals or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I'm brave enough to stare at myself for 10 minutes. I mean, I don't like looking at my own reflection just standing there. That's kind of creepy. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll get brave enough at some point and attempt this. But if I do, I'm going to actually record it to be sure that it's not my own mind losing it and that something did wink back at me. Or not back at me, but just winked at me, because it'd be doing the opposite of what I'm doing. And see, I'm already confusing myself.
The last 24 hours have been insane. An Australian skydiver's parachute got caught on the tail of an aeroplane 15,000 feet in the air. The jumper remained stuck as he started desperately trying to cut the 11 cords on the tangled parachute. Fearing that the aircraft could crash, the others were directed to jump for their own safety. Only 2 remained to watch the trapped skydiver free himself, which fortunately he was eventually able to do. Time magazine officially named the 2025 Person of the Year, and it wasn't even a person. They said, quote, 2025 was the year that AI's full potential roared into view, and also when it became clear that there'll be no turning back. Therefore, the architects of AI are Time's 2025 Person of the Year. 6 TikTokers have been arrested after an award show, including Ethiopia's Creator of the Year. 5 influencers were detained on allegations of wearing indecent attire at an award show, and today a 6th creator, Adonai Berhane, who has actually got almost 4 million followers and was named TikToker of the Year, was also detained and is now under investigation. Ethiopian federal police are now warning that they will take further action against anyone violating the country's cultural values or promoting what they described as shallow culture. A couple of days ago, the US military seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela, alleging that it was smuggling oil to Iran. But now the White House says that it will be transported to a US port and they will be keeping it. Caroline Leavitt said the United States does intend to seize the oil. However, there is a legal process for the seizure of that oil, and that legal process will be followed. Venezuela accused America America of committing an act of international piracy. After some of Bulgaria's largest protests in decades, the government and its prime minister have officially been forced to resign. The head of NATO issued a stark warning saying that Russia could attack a NATO country within 5 years, saying, "We must prepare for the scale of war our grandparents or great-grandparents endured." And finally, Justin Bieber returned to the bowling alley where it all began. This was the location where the infamous Baby music video was recorded. Today, it is abandoned and falling apart, truly signaling the end of an era.
Wow. So AI is replacing people all the way around, including the person of the year. That really is some crazy stuff. They're crazy. Wow. I think that deer got woken up from a really good nap there and was not really coherent until that moment. Oh, that'd be great though, to just be able to pet a deer like that.
There's a theory for Home Alone 1. So the whole movie is actually an allegory for Christianity. And Jesus is actually in the movie. Remember the really creepy old man in the movie? That's actually supposed to be Jesus the whole time. Remember the first time he shows up?
In the house, right?
No, it was at a store.
Oh,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
buying things at the store. And he notices he has a bandage on his hand and he's bleeding, right?
Yeah.
It's bleeding from the top with the bandage.
Okay.
Later, when Kevin is running away from the burglars, and then where he's running to, he runs into a church. He runs into a church, right? And then remember the burglars go, "Oh, I don't like that." It's because they feel the presence of God. Now, when he walks in there, the script itself, if you read the Home Alone script, it says Kevin walks in and he realized the Spirit of God is there.
Oh, deadass?
Yeah, in the script.
Oh.
That was like the emotion they were trying to play off on the scene. He sits down in the pews, and guess who sits beside him?
The old man?
The old man, yeah. But this time you see his hand facing this way. And what is it? It's the bandage, and the blood is in the middle.
Okay.
Just like when Jesus had the nail through his hand.
Insane.
So it shows that it went through both sides, fam. Now at the end of the movie, what happened? When he couldn't take on the burglars by himself, who saved him?
It was the old man, right?
It was the old man that saved him when he couldn't do it himself and sacrifice himself to save.
I think people have too much time on their hands. I really do. I don't think you're saying he's God or Jesus. That would be Jesus, because the hand bit. I don't think Jesus would have walked around with a shovel hitting people in the back of the head. Just saying. Yeah, that was something.
Y'all, this right here is crazy. And I don't think enough people talk about this shit. So I'm hearing your Wi-Fi is not just giving you internet no more. It's also tracking your movement. It's reading your body. And even in some cases, it's tracking your heartbeat and your breathing. We're not talking about a camera. We're not talking about your phone that's in your pocket. We're just talking about the Wi-Fi bouncing off your body. The signals. Think about that for a second. Every time you walk in a room, your body distorts a Wi-Fi signal. And these distortions can be analyzed. Are y'all keeping up? That means the system can tell if someone is present in that room, where they're standing, how they're breathing, everything. That should sound like something off a sci-fi movie. Researchers say that your body creates a Wi-Fi signature. A Wi-Fi signature. So essentially, it's like a fingerprint. So that means the signal pattern that's for you doesn't look the same from somebody else. So technically, the Wi-Fi doesn't need to see you. It just needs to feel you. Y'all don't hear how crazy this shit is? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. Have you ever heard about this before? Or is this new to you? And as always, you already know, I drop shit every day. So if you want to stay updated on everything news,
That makes me want to reconsider my Wi-Fi.
Have you heard of the two-way app? The concept is that you can still communicate with your deceased loved ones.
Oh boy.
It's like they're FaceTiming, and the commercial is like she was FaceTiming with her mother that passed. For new baby, baby grows up, becomes like an adult, and then he's FaceTiming with his grandmother, and it's her voice, her likeness.
You take the app and you record a video of the person before they pass away. You have them turn to the side. You have them say a few sentences and words. That way the AI can take it and then make their own voice specifically for them. And then you upload that to the app, and then it creates this avatar of your loved one.
I hate that.
And you can have full-on conversations with it.
Their catch line at the top of their website says, "Human connection reimagined in the age of AI."
Not human connection.
It's a robot.
You take them like almost like a personality test with it. And so you have your loved one sit down, they fill out a survey, and like crazy.
It's weird.
We are living in Black Mirror more than ever before.
I know.
Literally. Terrifying.
No matter how weird we think it is, someone's going to use it.
Never watched Black Mirror, but that's scary once again. I guess AI is also going to take over your loved ones. Yeah, no, that's a little bit too freaky for me, and it doesn't feel right. It feels wrong.
Just hold your chicken. Don't hurt my chicken. I'm not gonna hurt your chicken. You got any weapons on you? Why don't we put that chicken in my car over here for a second?
My baby.
Yep, we'll take care of that.
I love you.
Chicken inside, please.
I love you, Mommy.
What's your chicken's name?
Mommy, this is my baby.
That's okay.
My baby chicken. It's okay. He's a good chicken. I'm sorry, I'll clean it up.
We got it.
I'll sit on it, sir, if I have to. I fucked up.
Can't make this up, Josh. Can't make this up.
He loves his chicken. See you later, Paul.
These signs should never be ignored when visiting a cemetery. First, never greet the dead with the word hello. That word is meant for the living. The dead cannot answer, and spirits may take offense and start seeking revenge. Second, never eat anything that has grown on cemetery soil. It belongs to the dead, and if you take it, spirits may come to you in dreams or visions, demanding what's theirs. Third, never go to the cemetery with your hair down. Loose hair is believed to attract entities that can attach themselves to it and slowly drain your life energy. Fourth, never walk straight home after visiting a cemetery. You must stop somewhere first, a store, a cafe, anywhere, to leave the energy of death behind. Fifth, never raise or move crosses in the cemetery, and never call upon someone else's sorrow. Doing so invites darkness into your life. Sixth, never leave your personal belongings behind. If you do, they'll belong to the dead now, and they'll take a piece of your soul with them. Seventh, never clean someone else's grave. You're entering a space where you are not welcome. And finally, never visit the cemetery on the birthday of the deceased. It's believed that on that day, the dead demand a gift, and they may take a living soul instead. Tell me, did you know about these rules? Write it in the comments. I read every single one. And subscribe to me so you don't miss the next creepy story.
No, I do not know about those rules, but those rules are kind of freaky. Some of it I can see. Some of it's respect. A couple I question, like leaving something of yours, it takes a piece of your soul. But I don't know how many of us will go to a grave site of our loved one and be like, hi, in, your family member's name and say that you miss them. I don't know. What do you think about that, Liz? That's kind of scary. Oh, thank you for the submission.
Hi, what are you doing? Can I help you?
Oh, very cute.
Yep. What are you?
What are you? What are you still standing there for?
That looks like a gigantic spider.
Oh, I know exactly what it looks like. Again, why are you still standing there?
I agree.
And you're gonna turn your back away from it. Away from it to take a look at the view. It's a pretty view. Enjoy it. Might be your last. No, thank you.
Psych. Yeah, this guy has got my exact thoughts too. It's like, hey, something freaky there. Let's say hi to it. Let's bring attention to it and then turn our backs to it so it can suck out your brain. Like, I don't know. If that was, okay, if that was real, don't you think they would either run away or keep their eye on it? No.
This ain't the song to wake Woody up. Chosen tree. All your friends have come to say it's time to rise and shine today. No.
What?
No, it's not getting up. Oh my God!
Why are they cheering?
Oh my God! He's up! Oh my God! Oh no!
Why are people cheering that Nightmare Fuel on? What did I just watch? What was this? And I mean, it kind of looks like Thomas the Tank Engine kind of slammed into a Christmas tree. No, thank you.
You know, Speed is the first person gonna get sued by a robot? Wait, why?
It's nasty. Man, shut your ass up. Shut the up before I knock your head off your shoulders, old big man.
You know the robot that was on stream that was like kicking him and they were like doing sparring? Yeah.
Let's fight. Come on.
Is he really angry?
Shit, what's up? Yeah, watch out. Watch out.
He was doing unnecessary things to it, like he was humping it. So now the creators of that robot are suing him because the robot got injured and he was supposed to like do a lot of more shoots, but because Speed did all that it ruined all his bags. So
that's kind of fair though. He damaged it,
but like, oh man, it's crazy.
But it is almost dystopian. Like, oh, he got sued because of a robot.
Get your ugly ass off my. All right, bro, watch out. All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep, that's it. That's it. Yep.
You have problems, dude.
No, nah, bro. Nah, that's it. Nah, bro, that's it. No, that's it. You think I'm playing, bro?
That he's got some serious problems. What the heck? It's a robot. Is he seriously that angry at a robot? Plus, I feel cheated because at the beginning of this clip it said that he was going to be the first person that was sued by a robot. No, it's still humans suing him. It's just the makers of the robot, which they should do because he was kind of off his rocker there. Like, why?
If NASA really went to the moon, you can't convince me that this is how they came back home. Because this is how we launched to outer space here on Earth. Multi-billion-dollar launch pads and support towers, massive fuel tanks, months of prep work, huge rocket explosion with a blazing trail of molten rocket fuel, possibly the most impressive feat of modern human engineering that anyone could possibly experience. But on the moon, a tiny metal cabin covered in tinfoil with skinny metal legs sitting on an uneven, dusty surface just pops away and detaches, flying all the way up into orbit just like that. Like, listen, I understand the moon has only 1/6 of Earth's gravitational pull, and therefore requires much less force to reach escape velocity, the speed required to enter into a planet or moon's orbit. But something about this liftoff just doesn't look right. No blast crater, no scorch marks, no sustained burn time, no epic powerful rocket launch, just a quick spark and it flies straight up into the stratosphere, or the moonosphere, or whatever. I just have a hard time believing that 1/6 of Earth's gravity goes from a monumental rocket eruption like this to a simple pop and detach like that. And then after effortlessly breaking free from the moon's gravity, this lunar lander reunited with a craft that was orbiting the moon, which just clicked back together like IKEA furniture and then peacefully glided everyone back home with a splashdown in the ocean. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I do believe we went to the moon. I could be wrong though. There is a lot of sketchy business that went down with the moon landings, but overall I feel like the evidence in support of them slightly outweighs the evidence against it. Just my opinion, but something about this return back to Earth moon launch just doesn't sit right with me. This is one of those videos that I'm almost positive NASA faked just to flex their technical superiority to the world, most notably to the Soviets, who they were in a space race with at the time to intimidate them with their flight supremacy. Expecting to air this once or twice on TV, never to be seen or closely examined by people on a mass scale ever again. Not anticipating that humans would be sharing and inspecting this footage 50 years later on the internet. But apparently NASA is sending people back to the lunar surface with Artemis 3, set to launch sometime in mid-2027, but is likely to see delays, with Artemis 2 planned for the first quarter of 2026, which will see 4 astronauts sent to orbit around the moon and then circle back home to Earth over the course of 10 days. The first manned mission to the vicinity of the moon since Apollo 17 in 1972, which is exactly where this footage is supposedly from. And trust me, the tinfoil hats are going to be watching real close on this next one. I think it's high time we get an HD remake of this moon launch. Please make sure to pack your 4K cameras this time.
Yeah, that does seem weird. And I was about to say, you know, well, they probably have a different atmosphere there, but I mean, there's so much, like, I don't know, like the whole moon landing, they now lost the footage. It was only aired, and I'm thinking for something that is supposed to be one of the biggest steps for mankind would have been guarded a little bit better than that. I don't know. That it does seem like there's a lot of suspicious things there. And what do you think?
There's something really strange in this picture, and it's not that I covered up the girl's face. Let's take a closer look, and you'll see it. Okay, so we got the girl, and she's walking her dog, but take a closer look at that dog. Do you notice anything? You notice anything a little bit odd about the dog? Yeah, there's something not right there.
Demon
but
dog.
let's, like a nice curious cheesehead, look a little closer. Yeah, this doggy looks a little different to me. Are those horns? Are those cloven hooves? What's going on? You know, for a second I thought it might be a goat. But this ain't no goat, and it ain't no dog. That's some kind of demon. That's some kind of demon pretending to be a dog. Now look, you can tell me there's something wrong with me, and I'm jumping to conclusions, and you know what? Most times you might be right. But not now with this demon dog, 'cause that ain't no dog, like I said before. That's some kind of demon. According to legend, demons often masquerade as other animals, household pets, so to speak. And that could be what's going on here. But I want to know what you think. Let me know your opinion, Booshkies. Right down there in the comment section. Shabadoo.
Yeah, no. So many questions. I've heard that mimics are supposed to try to pose as, you know, your pets and stuff. Maybe that was a mimic? I don't know.
It is so over for Ibo Noah. The Ghanaian man who wrongly predicted a Christmas apocalypse has been arrested. And before we start, anyone now saying this?
Ibo Noah, Dylan Page's best friend, has been arrested.
Bro, what? Why is he my best friend now? Anyone saying that, shush. Now, local media report that he was picked up by Ghana's special cyber vetting team as part of their crackdown on individuals online making public declarations and prophecies that could cause fear or public disorder.
Father, I am crying.
Now, they haven't actually publicly detailed the allegations against Ibo Noah, nor have they stated any formal charges, court dates, or bail conditions. But right before bro was arrested, he was even doing brand deals and selling iPhones. How could we be best friends?
I think he was getting his, 5 minutes of fame in and to cash in. Yeah, I didn't say anything at all about that. Like, I will see you the day after.
What's that? Oh, scientists have proven that humans can only see 4% of what's in front of them? Tell me more. Scientists have proven that humans can only see 4% of what's in front of them, meaning we're not seeing practically anything that is really there. This is why if you take a Tesla, for example, down to a cemetery and you turn on the biometric camera, you're going to see human beings walking around, all around, but yet you don't see them with your naked eye, but you'll see them on the biometric camera. Oh, I love that. This is why the contacts that they recently made that can see in the dark are seeing certain figures that you can't see with the naked eye. So it's so fun. There have been many inventions in the past that they haven't been able to release because of this issue. And not to mention in the 60s when they had the issue with the goggles in the war and they were seeing certain figures and they were shooting at them, but they weren't really there apparently. Okay.
So that's pretty freaky there. What do you think? Would you want to see everything around you that you couldn't see? Even if that meant seeing, deceased people or, I don't know, interdimensional entities. I don't know what's all around us. I just know that I think there's a whole lot more to the world than, we do see or know about. And I've been saying that for the longest time. So, and I can believe that they're not letting out some technology, new things, because they accidentally tapped into that and they don't want either A, they don't want to freak us out, or B, they have us in a narrative that they don't want us to know anymore. And I don't know. I do think they try to dumb us down. Maybe that's my conspiracy-ness in my head. It's not even a word, conspiracy-ness. I'm sorry, I'm making up words.
Here we go. We got another speeder coming into the school zone. Elmo, 1, 2, to slow the fuck down. Put it down the fucking school zone.
Oh, they stopped. Okay, I don't condone this. You can get in a lot of trouble. You can get fined and stuff for that, or you can cause an accident. But I mean, I gotta admit that was funny. Oh,
You're so quick.
I want one.
If it's the quickest, who's the quickest?
So sweet.
What are you doing?
He's like a kitty cat.
Some of you might have noticed that it looks a little bit run down. Not to worry, our engineer is going to pick up speed to 90 miles an hour. And we figure if we have everyone hop at the same time, we'll be able to cross that bridge no problem. Just kidding, of course. We will not be crossing this bridge.
That is so mean. Okay, what if somebody had a heart condition and they did that and someone started having like heart palpitations or, a heart attack, whatever? That's not cool. You don't know, people's medical history. I would be freaking out. What the heck?
Every state has a creepy urban legend, which is why I'm going to be telling you about the scariest one from each state. Puckwudgies, Massachusetts. The Puckwudgies are small human-like creatures that are said to be tricksters. They often disappear without a trace and have the ability to shapeshift. If you encounter one, be careful, as they have led many people to their deaths by pushing them off cliffs. Michigan Triangle, Michigan. Over the years, ships and planes have mysteriously gone missing within Lake Michigan. UFO sightings, equipment failure, and time gaps have all been reported to occur. Some say this could be due to storms, but many think something darker might be happening. The Wendigo, Minnesota. The Wendigo is considered to be one of the oldest Native American monsters. It's said that anyone who consumes another human runs the risk of becoming one. Its hunger is never satisfied, so if you smell rotting flesh or feel dread while in the woods, it could mean one is near. Witch of Yazoo, Mississippi. Legend says an old woman tormented fishermen along the Yazoo River until she was chased off into the swamps. Trapped in quicksand, she swore she would return in 20 years to burn the town to the ground. And exactly 20 years after her death, a massive fire would do just that. Zombie Road, Missouri. Located on one of the largest Native American burial grounds, Zombie Road is considered to be extremely haunted. It's claimed that visitors hear mysterious screams coming from the tree line and are often followed by shadow figures. And in extreme cases, even being attacked by something inhuman.
How does friction make objects magically stick to the wall? Well, this is going super viral, and the reason is actually pretty cool. You see, when you slide an object on paint hard and fast, it creates friction. And similar to rubbing your hands together, that friction creates heat. So the heat created from that quick slide will soften specific latex paints just enough that it acts like a weak glue or putty.
Do it.
Yeah, I have the overwhelming urge to test that, but did you see the marks that was left on the walls? Well, I guess it could be wiped off pretty easy with a wipe, but I may actually do this, and that might be a little bit too much fun for me.
So this guy doesn't bathe or he doesn't brush his teeth, but that's not
Yeah, he
even
looks
the
it.
worst thing about him. Now, the guy's name is Pazuzu, and Pazuzu is around 29 years old when this story starts, and he's living in North Carolina, and Pazuzu, he's a very strange guy. Like, he is obsessed with Satanism and other kinds of dark mythology, and on top of being strange, he also has some serious mental health issues and addiction issues. And so one day in 2007, he decides that he is done taking his medication for his mental illness. I mean, he's just going to stop cold turkey. And because he has a bad habit of drinking a ton of alcohol and doing meth all the time, this makes his mental health issues 100 times worse. And from
They
here,
need to be
Pazuzu's
worse.
life just kind of keeps spiraling downward. Like, he's partying all the time, he's drinking alcohol and doing drugs. Sometimes he'll do really hard drugs, like smack. Not only that, but he also stops practicing good hygiene. Like, according to his friends, he showers maybe once a year. He brushes his teeth maybe once a year. Because he has this weird idea that cleaning himself will wash away his natural immunities or something like that. Now, despite being around 29, 30 years old, Pazuzu still lives at his mom's house with her. And he absolutely trashes his mom's house. Like, he's got friends over all day, and they, like, party all the time, every day. Like, there are no rules. And either he or the people hanging out will throw trash everywhere, they'll just, like, smash shit that's lying around, they'll straight up pee on the carpet, sometimes they'll just straight up poop on the carpet. So this place is a total dump, and it smells terrible because there's poop on the carpet, nobody cleans up anything. Really, these people are disgusting. And Pazuzu's mom doesn't seem to care. She just, like, lets them do it. And on top of all that, they have a bunch of pets who live there too. And these pets all pee and shit on the floor. And this goes on for a few years. These stank-ass hippies who hang out in Pazuzu's poop house, they just sit around all day and do hard drugs. And over time, they kind of become like loyal followers of his. And they accept him as this sort of dark spiritual leader, like a guy they look up to. It's a bit cult-like. But then, around 2009, this guy shows up. His name's Josh. And Josh, he starts partying in this house with the others. And Josh, he's a nice enough guy, but to the others, he's an outsider. And he doesn't exactly look up to Pazuzu like the other guys do. And Pazuzu, he doesn't like this at all. Like, he doesn't like that this Josh guy is someone that he can't control. So he decides that he's gonna make Josh miserable. And one day, when Josh is at the house partying with the others, allegedly, Pazuzu forces him down into the basement. And there, he ties him up. Apparently, he had heard that Josh is some kind of snitch or something like that. And so Pazuzu just leaves him there. And he basically starves him for days, allegedly. This is what a witness claimed. But a few days later, Pazuzu brings Josh back upstairs. And instead of letting him go, he gets a rifle, and he points it at him, and blam, blam, he shoots Josh like 10 times. And he unalives him. And what's crazy is Pazuzu doesn't do this when, like, no one is home. There are actually people around witnessing this. Like, his whole party crew is all there, and they're probably high out of their minds. And Pazuzu's mom is there, too. I mean, she allegedly comes out of her room, and she sees Pazuzu holding the rifle, but she, like, does nothing. And so anyway, then, later, Pazuzu and his friends, they move the body back down to the basement. And once it's in the basement, they just let it rot down there. And Pazuzu uses cat litter and chlorine to hide the smell. I'm telling you, these are some weird-ass people. Anyway, now at some point, I guess the dead body smell gets to be too much or something, I'm not sure. But eventually, Pazuzu moves the body and he buries it in the backyard in a shallow grave. Now, like I said, this crime had a bunch of witnesses. Like, people saw Pazuzu murder Josh in the house, and some of them even helped him move the body. So pretty quickly, word gets out that this all happened. And one woman calls the police, and she tells them that she knows of a dead body in the basement of Pazuzu's mom's house. So one day, the police show up to the stank-ass hippie poop house, and they question Pazuzu, and of course, he denies murdering anyone.
Sounds accurate.
He lets the police walk around and check the place out. They go into the basement, and they look, but by this point, the body had been moved and buried in the backyard. So these cops don't see any evidence of any wrongdoing, just a guy with a filthy house, which, you know, having a filthy house isn't against the law. So the police leave, and nothing comes of it. About 2 months later, this guy shows up to the house, Tommy. And Tommy is there to either just hang out in the filth or do some drugs with the others, I'm not sure. Now, believe it or not, Pazuzu's stank ass actually has a girlfriend. He apparently has multiple girlfriends, because I guess these women have no standards. But the woman I'm referring to is this woman, Amber. And so one night, Tommy is at the house, sitting on the couch, and for some reason, Amber's crazy ass gets the rifle, and suddenly, blam, she shoots Tommy, and she freaking unalives him. And Pazuzu's mom hears the gunshot, and she comes out of her room to see what happened, and she sees Amber holding the rifle, and she sees Tommy dead. But again, she doesn't do anything about it, she just goes on with her life. Like, what the fuck, lady? So, since Amber is the one who actually killed this guy, I guess she is now in charge of getting rid of the body. So she texts one of her friends to come over and help bury Tommy. And her friend comes over and they go into the backyard and they start digging a grave and they bury him. While Pazuzu is there as well, and he's just like, I guess, watching and directing the whole thing. And so they get away with it. Like, years go by, and it's now 2014, and Pazuzu is 35 years old at this point. And police still haven't caught on to them. So no one outside Pazuzu's inner circle suspects that there are bodies buried in the backyard. So it seems like he and Amber are gonna get away with these murders and just keep on living this stank-ass party lifestyle. Until one day something unexpected happens. Police just happen to show up at one of Pazuzu's friends' houses. And they're there looking into a completely different crime, something unrelated to Pazuzu. But they question one of Pazuzu's friends. And immediately the friend is like, is this about Pazuzu? And then he proceeds to tell the police all about the two bodies buried in Pazuzu's backyard. So this, of course, gets police's attention. I mean, this is not the first time they've been told Pazuzu's killed someone. So they're really hoping this can now lead to something. Now, I don't know if it's coincidence, but around this time, another friend comes forward telling police a similar story about how he had heard that there are bodies buried in Pazuzu's backyard. And so this kicks off a big investigation, and police come to Pazuzu's poop house, and they search the place, and the place is so filthy and toxic that they literally have to wear full hazmat suits before they go in. That is disgusting. But eventually, they excavate the backyard, and there they find the bodies of both Josh and Tommy. And so, bam, they arrest Pazuzu. Here's his mugshot. Also, bam, they arrest Amber. Here's her mugshot. And bam, they arrest Amber's friend who helped bury Tommy's body. Here's her mugshot. And I couldn't find any information about Pazuzu's mom, but I hope they arrested her too. But anyway, Amber, she ends up taking a plea deal, and she gets sentenced to 30 to 40 years in prison, while her friend who helped bury the body, she gets sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison, While Pazuzu, he doesn't get sentenced at all because while he was waiting for his trial, he actually unalived himself in jail.
Of course he did. I don't get that. So they get a tip that there's a dead body in the basement and it wasn't there. And cops are just like, oh yeah, it's not there. You know, it's a dirty place and everything. And obviously a lot of bad stuff happens there. If the pictures we see are anywhere accurate, I guess. It's like, why wouldn't they have looked around? I mean, did they not go to the backyard? They just dropped it. They didn't push any further as him as a suspect. I don't get it. I mean, am I missing something on that? I don't know. They could have found him a lot earlier, but whatever, right? So it looks like that's all there is for this week. To see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button, give a thumbs up for the video, press that notification bell to be notified of future uploads, and leave us a comment. I really love to hear from you guys. Once again, if you have any videos you would like me to react to, please send them our way. Other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all next week. Hey, here's some videos YouTube thinks you'll enjoy.